Hello, my friends on YouTube, and welcome to my now permanent role as an America's Cardroom commentator. Now, I would have loved to give you the final table of both the Mystery Bounty and the last tournament that I participated in, which is the last roll. But as you can see, the Mystery Bounty here was chopped. I don't cover tournaments, no matter how big they are, if they chopped. This tournament had 52,232 entries. I still don't care. I'm not covering it if they chopped it. However, I can't let a tournament this big go by without at least giving a big shout out to all the top 100 out of 52,232. All these guys deserve your respect, the shout outs, and seriously, amazing job of getting that far against that many people. And remember, $2.50 buy-in. This is what they're all walking away with. Downtown Mountain there unbelievably made the top 50 without a single bounty. I don't even know how that's possible. So, just for a little bit of extra closure, there's those top two who chopped. For a little bit of closure, I did put on YouTube myself playing it and criticizing somebody in particular about registering a million times and how that's a terrible idea because it's so hard to actually profit off of that. Well, oh, it's 347, not 374. There it is. Ebex 18. 45. He got into this tournament 45 separate times, which means that if he never rebought or busted and just gave up from any of the other flights, even if we act like that never happened and he was perfect 45 for 45, that's $112.50 that he spent on this game. 347th place got him $24.08. He got $65 of bounty, meaning that he got 89.08, and that means a net of negative $23.42 at absolute best. Thanks for playing, man. And one more thing, out of the final 95 players that I just, happened to be looking at when I was checking in on the tournament, there were 95 players left. 38 of them started with only a single ticket. When I'm right, I'm right, okay? Anyway, on to the main show. Well, it doesn't get much simpler than this in terms of nationalities, huh? We just have Americans and Brazilians. So this ended up actually having an even bigger field than I was expecting. 3,394 people paid $11 to set a prize pool, obviously, of 33,940. And here, powerbooster.com. Okay, I didn't know .coms were allowed in usernames. But here again, we have the top 100. Of course, the prize ladder stacks a lot slower because it's a PKO. And I should mention that the Mystery Bounty was not actually a PKO. Mystery Bounty actually is exactly what it sounds like. Everybody who makes the day 2 is randomly assigned a number, an amount of money for being knocked out. There are 6 tiers. Hang on a second, let me make sure. Stop it on 9, and there. At least I'm good at that. There were 6 different tiers that somebody could be assigned to be knocked out, and however deep you were into the tournament, it wasn't going to change anything. Everything was preset. This is just a regular PKO that you can do with robot poker that you really can't do in real life, where they do, in fact, actually get progressive. So, yeah. It would have been nice to actually, be able to show you the other final table. But I have standards. Leo Macedo with a fantastic opening hand. I got it. Might play. Nope. Herzor will probably play. Pocket fours, we'll see that flop, and there's nothing to like about that flop. Leo with a great start, but definitely a good idea to bet there. There's a lot of draws out there, so even though he's a little short and desperate for chips, I don't think he minds just picking up that pot. Okay. And right off the bat, we have a pretty big misread by Herzor. Before we go any further, take note that we actually have a decent amount of big blinds at this table, so this might take a while, and B, that tells me that the mindset prior to this final table was we're going to get this done. Got to respect that. Leo's not going anywhere. In fact, this is probably the time to just pump it. Oh, no. We can see that Herzor has virtually no chance of beating him. But don't just call there. Please don't just call there. There's no shame in going out your final 20 big blinds with ace-king, especially when you hit the board. And I really hate that call. If the turn card was a 10 of clubs, then what are you going to do? Or like a 6 or an 8. Now you go all in. That was a good turn card. That was a very good turn card. He does the right thing there, but I definitely think the better play would have been to shove on the flop. But it all worked out nicely, so I can't say too much. And starting off with another nice hand is Leo. Meaner, uglier with, I thought, a pretty clear 3-bet all-in, but apparently not. He didn't even think about it that long. He just fold. I don't know what kind of spot he's waiting for. I know it's easy for me to say because I can see that he would have been called only really by Leo with his Queen Jack, which obviously isn't in very good shape against Ace Jack, but I don't understand that fold. He's so short. He's got to go with that. Anyway, great flop, but a much better turn card for the poker fish. Standard action on that flop with the bet by Leo and the call from the draw. Obviously, you don't want to fold right off the bat, and that's just a dream card. Not only is it a 3, but it's a red 3. So flushes didn't come. He's got the nuts. Now he is electing to slow play it, and he still has the nuts. Leo with a bit of a slowdown card, perhaps. But he might not be done with this hand. If the poker fish bet's small enough, Leo might still pay him off with the pair of queens. He does slow down. I really wouldn't have done anything differently from Leo in this hand. Okay! That's just mean. That's so mean. And that's like the perfect PKO play. So first of all, let me just say to Leo, this time I have absolutely no problem with the way he's played this hand. I would have played it exactly the same. That all-in is just evil. It's for a little more than the pot because Leo's the effective stack of 30 million. And he's got the absolute nuts. So, should he be betting that much if he wants to call? Probably not. But he's going to bet all in and see if it looks like enough of a bluff to entice a call. And if he does call, Pokerface knows for a fact he's getting all his chips and his bounty. I lack the cold-bloodedness to actually make a move like that. I just would have bet like 9 million in the hopes to get a call. Hurricanes would call 9 million here. Doesn't call there. That's a good laydown. He guessed correctly that that wasn't a big load of BS. But I must say, as an observer, I love that he tried that. I got it with a mini pair. I like the fold there. Ace-King raises, Herzor with Ace-Queen in big trouble. With the 3-bet, very understandable. Pokerfish may just call. He does just call, and we again see Ace-King, and we see it hit the flop. By the way, oh, wow. Pokerfish checks, That's a pre-flop raiser. Herzor, the non-pre-flop raiser, bets 6.5 million into 26 million with ace high and no draw. You gotta bet more than that, dude. We can see that it's good that he didn't bet, but you know, if Pokerfish had, say, pocket nines, you gotta bet more than that. Pokerfish decides that he was just going for the check raise. I like that play. There's a lot of draws out there. I think he handled that one really nicely. I should mention, Chiefs fan up there hasn't played a hand yet. Of course, we're still very early. He's the chip leader, and I must say, as a Raiders fan, I'm pretty used to watching them make the dance when I don't even come close to it. So, there's a sense of comfort in that. Whoa, he's really going for it. 10 high. Alright, Leo probably should file that in his memory bank, or maybe her memory bank, judging by the, I don't know. Oh boy, we got some cards here. But yeah, Leo should definitely file that into his memory bank. You know, don't limp in to Jarrell Zim's big blind. It's not going to end well. Unless, of course, he's got, you know, a big hand. Now he does have a big hand. Jarrell Zim with a much bigger hand, though. Meaner, uglier. Probably would have been willing to go with the ace-9 suited, but probably not after Jarrell Zim 3-bets here. Oh, he's not going to 3-bet. That's so rude. That's so... rude and mean. Oh, God, it worked. What a beautiful play by Jarrell Zim, figuring that the squeeze shove might be coming from that small stack in the big blind. And what a decision now for Leo. If Jarrell Zim wasn't between him, this is probably a call he can make relatively easily, particularly with him being the bigger stack in this PKO format. But Jarrell Zim is between him. We know Jarrell Zim's got it. And a double knockout could well be on our way. Leo goes for the all-in. Jarrell Zim, of course, will snap call with the kings. And that's an excellent flop for Leo. Meaner, uglier is going to need a miracle. Jarrell Zim even has one of his hearts. Big turn card here. This could have him drawing dead. It's a king! So Meaner Uglier is out of here in 8th place no matter what. Meaner Uglier had the shorter stack, so even if Leo does get knocked out here, Leo's going to be 7th place, Meaner Uglier will be 8th place. But obviously that's a big card for Jarrell Zim. The ace is no longer good for Leo. There were only 2 aces that would help anyway. So, diamond for Leo, otherwise Jarrell Zim wins. And it is good for Jarrell Zim. He knocks out both players and takes a commanding lead at this table. Not to mention a lot of money. Again, considering $11 buy-in. We got Jarrell Zim at 144, Chiefs fan at 102, Pokerfish around 90, and then the other guys, who are pretty much all guppies. And Terminator just going with it with 10-9, trying to get back in this. I've honestly seen worse plays, even though Terminator has to know that she's getting called no matter what. 10-9's a hand that can crack just about any hand if the right board comes, and they're so desperately short, why not just give it a roll? They've already laddered up to 6th. I get it's going to play with pocket 9s, obviously. Pokerfish is out of here. And the diamonds certainly help. I get it. Of course, Terminator has the better straight draw. So if an 8 comes where there's no chop, Terminator would actually win it unless it was the 8 of diamonds. And a 10 would work as well if that's not a diamond. Overall, still a better flop for I got it, I think. Considering the diamonds there. And that's a diamond. So Terminator has 1 out. If the 4 of diamonds hits, they chop it with the same straight flush. I would love to see that. I've never seen that before. Nope. Instead, the case 9 shows up. Terminator 1 out of here in 6th place. I forgot to clap for the other 2. Just pretend I'm clapping for all 3 of them. That all happened within like 2 minutes anyway. You see the payouts, and we are all of a sudden rocketing up to 738 minimum. And with I got it being the one to knock them out, now all of a sudden everybody's got some playable stacks. Herzor here with just under 30 being the short stack. When the short stack has 30 big blinds, you know we got some play in us. I like how they're not min-raising. I'm tired of min-raises. As you might have been able to gather from the way I play. Chief Sam with the Lon McCarron Memorial hand. Nobody else has anything. Nothing really to talk about there. That's why I use this 2x button. That's a playable hand for Herzor. Decides to forego it, though. A lot of competition. And as the vulnerable stack in this spot, wants to wait for a better spot. Pair of sixes for Jarrell Zim. It's no good against I Got It. Pokerfish completely airballed that flop. Pokerfish calls, even though he completely airballed that flop. That's better. That's more like it. Pokerfish now with an up and down straight draw. Little does he know, of course, there's only 1-7 left. So he's going to be looking for a 2 most likely. Or an ace. And he gets a free ride if he wishes. I Get It was not happy to be called there. He's not going for the free ride. He's going to try and pick up the pot right now. Of course, I Got It has his own straight draw. He hits a 5. Curious how much he values that. This is for a third of his chips, though. I imagine this is a fold. So, well done by Pokerfish. Shows me what I know. Loading the flop to see if there was a good turn card. There was. And with one fewer person in his way, he took advantage of it. Occasionally, I'll try multi-step plays like that. They don't always work, though. Pokerfish all over that flop. Chiefs fan only somewhat over it. He does call. As Antonio Esfandiari likes to say, it's hard to make a pair. So, I understand the call. Pokerfish decides not to follow it up, and that's a very familiar run out for me. Particularly this tournament. And they're going to actually chop it. They both have bottom pair and pretty much no kicker. No reason to fight over it, especially being two of the bigger stacks. Jarrell's in with a huge hand now. Seeing a lot of ace-kings already. Again, beautiful raise size. They're actually raising. Ooh, I Got It is in big trouble here. The only thing that might save him is the amount of draws on the board. Actually, that might hurt him, too. The Pokerfish wants me to write his name on my death note. That's how it works, right? I don't watch that show, actually. But, yeah, Durelzim goes for the bet. Very standard, especially with that draw-heavy board. And, yeah, the draw-heavy board is actually going to cost I Got It here. Understandable raise, although I would expect him to raise more than that. That's barely more than a min click back. Durelzim's going nowhere. In fact, he may shove here. He's the much bigger stack. It's a PK. Yeah, I like that play. I Got It now with a huge decision on his hands. He just put in 6 million. Is he putting that into fold? We can see it would be a very good fold. He's still got 30 million left. That would be 21, 22 big blinds. He's got ace with no kicker. Is this the spot he thinks he can advance? Does he think he's on a draw? That's the thing. If he's on a draw, this is worth it. Maybe. If it's like 7-9 of hearts, I'd still might fold. Certainly a tough one. Is he ever bluffing here? He could semi-bluff, but could he ever bluff? Probably not. He does get away from it. Good laydown for I got it. It does leave him being the short stack, but he has a stack. That's the most important part. And boy, the blinds are popping up, aren't they? Poker Fish may go for this one, actually. I got it with a huge all-in. He is going to go for it. That's actually a good call. Of course, he probably folds if it's not a PKO, but it is a PKO. 61 million in the middle, and a pretty nice looking flop for King 10. Double gutter. 8 or a queen gets it for him. Or, of course, a king or a 10, or running clubs. That is a terrible turn card, but the same outs are still there. 8 gives Pokerfish a straight, but it's not as good as I get it straight. No good. King 10 fails all those outs. I got it is out of here, and the Pokerfish takes his money. But I got it, of course, with plenty to be proud of. 5th place out of 3,394. I almost forgot that the blinds are going up every 10 minutes. That makes it even more impressive that they actually have blinds to play with here. Because I was watching, and for some reason the other game was going faster at first, even though they had 15-minute blinds and this one had 10. Well, it started with 20. You know, that brief time period I was in it, the blinds were going up every 20 minutes. But after the late reg happened, it was 10. So the second half of each tournament, this one actually was proceeding faster than the mystery bounty. So we have no hands here. Well, pair of twos, but 3 hearts on that board. Herzor with a short stack. Chiefs fan pounding away. Wow, I cannot believe he didn't fold there. And it's a good call. Does Chiefs fan want to give up? He does. Great call there by Herzor. Chiefs fan maybe going for a little Marty ball there. Just ground and pound, but this time it does not work. Straight for Jarelzim. Of course, it's not completely unassailable. He doesn't want to see an ace or a 9. And I think he knows that, so this may be a good time for a raise. Even though it might be a little wasteful. But there's a lot of bad turn cards. Like, a lot of bad turn cards. 10 queen or jack. Oh. If it turns to 10 queen or jack, that's also pretty bad. Herzor with a big misjudgment here of Jarelzim's strength. Probably has him on some kind of draw. Or a small pair that just, or like a one pair hand that was just raising in an attempt to get the draws away. Which we have seen most of this final table so far. But unfortunately, he just guesses wrong there. An understandable move. But Jarelzim's got it, and he's got to be happy to see that. There's the all-in. Herzor's got to fold. All of that ground he just gained against Chiefs fan has just been surrendered to Jarelzim. Dude, you got to fold. Fold. It's a 4. It's not an ace. You have king high. I'm just telling you, you can use that time bank for real decisions. I never understand why they waste their time bank on non-decisions like that. Pair versus pair here. Jarrell's trying to rally. Doesn't quite rally enough. But this should stay. Well, maybe Chiefs fan will throw in a little bet here. But it won't be a big pot. You'll go half pot, 3.7 million. Jarrell's could call here. There's a lot of missed draws out there. Decides not to be wasteful. I'd probably call there, just out of curiosity. But good laydown. Alright, that's why I got this 2x button. Ten 9 suited. Gonna raise Herzor, though. Gonna probably 3-bet. Well, now he's definitely 3-betting. All in. Please don't raise to like 27.9 million. You! I always know it, don't I? My instincts are absolutely spot on. He left 800,000 behind for absolutely no reason. Just to piss me off. I'm convinced he did that just to piss me off. I really am. When I play, I never see that. I literally never see that when I play. I only see it when I commentate these final tables, and when that move serves absolutely no purpose. The only time that move ever serves any purpose whatsoever is if you're trying to stall and move up the money ladder. But that doesn't work when you're the only players left. Queens. That should be a quick one, though. $111 big blinds. Charleston's doing pretty well, I must say. 111 big blinds in a tournament where the blinds are going up every 10 minutes. I can only dream of that. Of course, they started out by going up every 20. You called that? Okay, you're braver than I would be. And he's going for offense here. Poker fish. Just hanging on to this ace-king that's missed the board completely. This hand's getting more interesting than I thought. Now he kind of gives up, maybe figuring that if he could call the flop, he could probably call the turn and just doesn't continue his operation. It may well have worked, but you can't really be sure. I love how I'm so egotistical as to think that they would actually do something just to piss me off. Like they even know I exist. Not much reason for either player to bet there. Even if you take away Herzor's presence, not much reason to bet, but add him in there for ICM considerations, and there's really no reason to bet. Chiefs fans still here among the final four without really doing much. That should be a bet and fold. This should be a bet and fold, I said. You've got queen high and no draw. Could have saved yourself $2 million, just saying. Maybe he was calling with the intention of bluffing if Jarrell's didn't bet the turn. I'll never know. That's probably what it was. And that is the literal best possible outcome for pocket nines. You get him in the big blind and everybody folds to you. That's the best way to win with pocket nines. Herzor, time for the all-in. And Chiefs fan will play this time. I hate you. Okay, I don't hate you. I hate what you just did. I have no idea what you're like as a person. You're probably a great person, but I hate that play. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. It serves no freaking purpose. Get him, Chiefs fan. I can't believe I just said that. I'm actually rooting for a Chiefs fan now. You better not stall. Okay. Yep, the power of Pocket 9 just too strong. Of course he doesn't stand a chance. I'm not crazy. Pocket 9s suck. I've got plenty of evidence to support that. Well, at least as a Raiders fan, I can be happy. Chiefs fan not out of it, though, with 20 big blinds left, including the big blind that he's forced to put up here. That's a flop only a mother could love. That doesn't make any sense. How do you become a mother of a flop? By dealing it, I guess. I don't know. But the dealer is a robot, and robots can't love. I'm just going to go down this hole of philosophy, and never mind, we got a hand here. Jarrell's in probably with enough to call this bet. Let's see, it's 34 million more out of 174. So Jarrell's will still have 140 million if he calls and loses. It's four-handed, king jack, go for it. Wow. I think he's got to try it there. I really do. I don't know what he's afraid of. That's the thing. Technically, that was a good laydown. But he's got two big cards, four-handed, and even if he lost the hand, he would still be chip leader. There's just not really much that you'd be risking by trying to get that knockout. So personally, I don't like that fold. Give me a second. And once again, I can't help but notice that my face cam's quality is better than it was. I didn't do anything to make it worse or better. It just works when it wants to. Great flop for Jarrell's in. I would say that this is a good spot to slow play, but again, we have an 8 and a 6, and we got two clubs against two other players, so I don't mind that bet. It was about third pot. I'm okay with that. The other two just didn't have anything, so that was simple enough. That was a fine hand. Jarrell's spelled weakness correctly. Oh, what the heck? 2859. Okay, I'm trying to remember that. Alright, I think I got it. I might not. Okay, I hope I didn't miss anything. Didn't miss anything on that hand anyway. Know what that was all about. Also, didn't I usually used to not wear these when I was commentating? Oh well. Bet and a call. We got a couple of ace highs here. Jarrell's now with a pair. They both have like borderline showdown value. Jarrell's now with a little bit more. But I see this going check the rest of the way. Or not. They got other ideas. Jarrell's with just a bluff catcher. It's a pretty raggedy board. Doesn't find it in to make the call, though. I can't necessarily blame him, because that's the first time Poker Face has shown any strength at all. And it's a raggedy board, so if you're Jarrell's, you might be looking at that thinking, was he slow playing something this whole time? And just thought he had better things to do than to potentially donate $10.5 million. So, I can't say that that's a terrible fold. Herzor with enough of a hand to take this flop, I think. Yeah, I think that limp was calculated from Herzor this time, but Jarrell Zim smashes the flop this time. He already had a great hand. Now he's got a really great hand, and Herzor can't be along for this one. Okay, I don't like the bet this time. That's not really a connected, or what coordinated is the word that people use, right? That's not as coordinated to a board. I think he could have tried to slow play that one a little bit more. But there's also something to be said for being consistent with his post-flop play. Let's, I'm almost glad that Chiefs fan decided to press the evil green circle. I kind of already don't want him to win, and now I really don't want him to win. I'm wearing a Kent State shirt. It's where my most of my family graduated college. I have a degree from San Diego State, but I'm hoping to get a master's from here. Um, yeah, I do have Raider shirts. I just don't happen to be wearing one. And now that I live in Ohio, of course, I have brown shirts. Yeah, they're not gonna be my main team. But if I'm in the area, I might as well at least enjoy any success that they have, like they did in 2020. Anyway, that hand wasn't really much to talk about. So, oh wow, nobody's got more than an 8. The dirty diaper. Oh, they both unchecked the circle. Why'd they check it in the first place then? Also, the two Americans are the ones who want the deal. The Brazilians are willing to play straight up for it. I don't know if that's a correlation, but I respect the Brazilians. Even though Herzor makes that stupid, terrible, completely pointless move. Alright, and boy, Jarrell's hit a lot of these flops. And a very small C bet from the Pokerfish. That's a bad card for Jarrell Zim, though. And if Pokerfish wants to keep that aggression going, he absolutely can. That's a really good card for a follow-up bet. And a big follow-up bet. Okay, now I'm starting to see where he's going with this. He obviously has 7 high. He had a terrible flop. Bet small to try and induce a call. Now he's going for the jugular. Okay. He's got more ideas up his sleeve than I thought. That's a nice play. Gotta give him credit for that. Herzor with 8 and 9 says no. Pocket jacks are gonna raise. No, they're not. That's right, because his big blind guy is real short. So he's just gonna check. Chiefs fan has a pair now and goes for it. Jarrell Zim sees the ace on the board, but I think he can call this. Chiefs fan almost certainly would have raised pre-flop with an ace, unless it's like something icky like ace-6 offsuit, ace-3 offsuit. But like any medium ace or any suited small ace, he's going to raise all in, right? I think Jarrell Zim can make this call. I think. It wouldn't be the worst fold ever. In fact, it really wouldn't be the worst fold ever because you know that Chiefs fans not doing this unless he hit the board somehow. This is ideal for Jarrell Zim, though. That's about as low of him hitting the board as you can get. Jarrell Zim's still the overwhelming favorite here. He does make the call. It's a very good call on his part. Chiefs fan does not get any additional help on the turn. He's going to need a 7 or a 3 or he is out of here. And the king will not do it for him. Chiefs fan 757 came in as the chip leader. Just couldn't get anything to go his way. Through, I must say, pretty much no fault of his own. Just wasn't his night. Jarrell Zim now truly with a significant chip lead over the other two, and Herzor's got to be pretty proud of himself for lasting this long. And this could be a squeeze all-in spot here. Yep. It's just a poker game. It's just a poker game. It's just a poker game. They're both going to fold. Let's just skip it. Got enough chips so he can make a regular raise here if he wants. He's going to limp again. Jarrell's raises every time. Oh, maybe he's learned his lesson. They both have a pair here. I can't imagine this is just going to be a fold. That's a very inconsequential card. I don't know. If I'm Herzor there and that first bet got called, I might play pot control there. But it works out anyway. Jarrell figures if he can bet twice, he's probably got better than a jack with no kicker. Although, with an ace and a king out there, the no kicker part isn't really that big of a problem. But with the ace and the king out there, you might figure he's got a king or an ace. And he did, so. No further blood. Little surprised at that fold. Obviously, it's a good thing he did. Jarrell's in with decision, but 4x is just a bit too much. 3x he might have played. That is a big raise. Herzor can't fold that, and that's a pretty good flop for Herzor. We've seen an unrequited diamond draw before. Pot-sized bet from Pokerfish. He's mixing it up. Notice that he's betting pot there when the last time we saw him run a bluff with absolutely no hand, he started off with a really small bet and then bet big on the turn. So he is changing his betting patterns. Herzor makes the call on the flop. I don't know if he can call now, though. He'll be putting in like 40% of his stack on just a baby flush draw. Yeah. It's easy to comment from here, but obviously it would have worked better if he had raised with that flush draw, but that's kind of a big ask when you get this far. And you just don't want to screw anything up. Oh, a limp. And Herzor does to that limp what Jarrell's does to his limps. And he actually went all in this time. He didn't spare one small blind. Pokerfish. Big hand. Herzor also a big hand, especially three-handed. He makes a small raise, though, so Herzor can call. It seems like an easy decision. Thank you, Norton. And that flop helps nobody, really. Pokerfish had the betting lead, so this should be... it's really easy if you go all in. Norton's blocking my screen a little bit. I have to manually close that notification. Herzor, obviously, in a world of hurt chips-wise, and Queen High, absolutely no draw on that board. Surprised at the lack of bet from Pokerfish, especially with the gut shot. And Herzor's gonna bet. Pretty brave move, but now what do you do now? You've been called. Like, I see a lot of myself in Herzor's struggles here. And yeah, he can't manage it. And well, he better not try anything here because Pokerfish has the nuts now. Straight on the board. He's going to move all in with the straight on the board. Okay, Herzor got away from it really quickly. But that's obviously a great play on his part because, again, he knows for a fact that if he calls, he gets the money. And he might because... oh, he's folding that 8-3. And he might because there's a straight on the board, he might be chopping the pot. If Pokerfish is playing the board, you know, he can call for a chop. And heads up between Pokerfish and Jarrell's has looked almost inevitable for a long time now. And even now, with the blinds just rapidly going up and up and up, they still have 63 big blinds apiece. I gotta say, they have been the two most deserving players. Herzor with the all in, and that's going to be called immediately, or if not 3-bet to 80 million or something, or just all in. Come on, Jerusalem. We all know you're not going anywhere. Now it's going all in. And there's a 3. Herzor hits his card. Jerusalem with not a whole lot to go off on here. That's not going to help him much. Oh, wait, yes, it does. Actually, it does. Because now they both have aces. Herzor has aces in 3s. But if the river card is a 4 or a queen, Jerusalem will have ace, ace, 4, 4, king. Herzor will have ace, ace, 4, 4, queen. Or if it's a queen, it's ace, ace, queen, queen, king versus ace, ace, queen, queen, 4. You get it. The 2 pair will be counterfeit and Jerusalem can win. Jerusalem can also win, of course, with a king that's not a spade. King of spades. The 3 of spades plays for Herzor, and he will stick with us with 75 million. 25 big blinds. Perhaps this heads up will not be between Pokerfish and Jerusalem. Perhaps Herzor will be part of this at the very end. I mean, this already has to feel like the very end, considering 3,394 people signed up. Not sure what that call is by Pokerface, but he's shown some pretty complicated move sets before. Let's see what happens here. I mean, both players have nothing and no draw. Big bet from Jerusalem. Was Pokerfish just looking for a check? Probably. If he checked, Pokerfish would try something. But that bet looks serious enough, and he's just going to let Jerusalem take this one. Jerusalem with an ace high. Herzor with a very pretty hand, suited queen jack. Maybe that can be my new favorite hand, actually. I think I've done pretty well with it, all things considered. And he checks that board. It's a bit awkward, obviously. If either of those 2 players have an 8 in their hands, he's pretty much dead meat. Considering the stack sizes and everything. But I don't think he can just get rid of this. He's got to call at the very least. If not, even shove, perhaps. Just a call. I can't disagree with the pot control, although he's got to be aware that with 20 big blinds behind, Jerusalem can absolutely bully him to ask for his whole stack by the river. Jerusalem, maybe thinking his ace high has showdown value, will show some restraint. Herzor in check call mode here. Or not. It's a weird time to bet, but Jerusalem does fold the ace high, and Herzor very much back in it now. 32 big blinds. And we've got 3 playable hands here. 6s, ace 3 versus 9s. Herzor sits on the chips that he just won. I think that's pretty smart. The 9s, though, are probably going to be... Oh, just a call. Now, what do you do on that board? If they both kind of saw each other's hands, they might just both check it down. But there's the bet from Pokerfish. Jerusalem just in a conundrum right off the bat because pocket 9s suck. I rest my case. Do we even need to say anything more? Pocket 9s are absolutely unplayable. Much better flop for Herzor than it is Pokerfish. Herzor was already ahead, of course. And that should be the end of that. Except Pokerfish does like to call, especially when it's a really small bet on the flop, and Queen high is now a pair of tens. Herzor should have bet more. And now he bets more with ace high and the gut shot. Poker fish with a better hand now. River card completely inconsequential. And Herzor realizes if Pokerfish can call the turn, he's going to be able to call the river and limits the damage. He worked really, really hard to stay in this thing. He doesn't want to blow too much of that in one sitting. Herzor probably just going to fold this. He might call. Oh, he does call. And 2 pair for Pokerfish. Herzor with 6 high and no draw. Yeah. Jack 9, Ace 2, Ace 9. Jarrell Zim with just a call there. Okay. That's an interesting flop. Obviously, an ace for both Herzor and Jarrell Zim, and Jack 9. Really no better than just Jack 2 as far as draws are concerned. Pokerfish at least has backdoors going. The turn card doesn't really help him with the backdoor, except a 7 would have given him a straight, but he folds. Oof. And now there's a bet and another call, I'm sure. Pokerfish would have had a straight, and they would have had a couple guys betting. That's gotta hurt. But you can't say he made the wrong decision at the time. And unfortunately, it's a brutal hand for Herzor, and now it's getting even worse. He has to move all in with the ace-queen, gonna run up against the ace-king, and maybe get run out of here. Even if he does, it's been a very noble effort. Just a call this time from Jarrell Zim. He went all in last time. Okay. 3-2 made the call. I got nothing. I get that it's a PKO, but that's $118. The difference between third and second is nearly $900. That's all kinds of not worth it. Of course, he does have more chips, so he's guaranteed second anyway. Maybe that's what he's thinking. Anyway, he hits a pair of threes. Queen, though, for Herzor. That's the most important part. Herzor now being gifted a triple up thanks to Pokerfish. Nothing on the turn. I hope these guys are at least smart enough to keep checking it down, considering there's no side pot. Oh, the king on the river. Jarrell Zim will take this hand anyway. The whole pot is his. Herzor had it 4/5 of the way. Can't possibly blame him for moving all in with ace-queen and 10 big blinds. I mean, come on. Great run for Herzor. Did not go down without a fight. But now we are at the heads up we were all expecting to see. 9 queen versus 5-6. Some potential here both ways. And again, the big blinds. 78-61. Ooh, bottom pair versus up and down straight draw. Of course, if you turn that 6 into a 10, then this is probably all in. Oh! Bottom 2 versus straight draw. Well, it wouldn't have been all in, but it would have been pretty exciting. It somehow goes check, check. And Jarrell Zim hits. He doesn't hit hard enough, though. It should be just a call. And immediately the tide shifts toward Pokerfish. That was a significant pot. Now they have similar hands. And 3x raise. I mean, they are deep enough. Bottom pair again for Pokerfish. Jarrell Zim this time with... Oh, actually, he does have a gut shot. I was going to say absolutely nothing, but an 8 would work. And when your head's up, sometimes you do call with gut shots. He decides not to here. Maybe because he had clubs, the only suit that wasn't on that board. Ace-4, certainly not a bad hand. 5-9 certainly is a bad hand. But we're heads up. He decides not to, though. King, Queen, Ace. Okay, these are hands. Another 3x raise, though, might prevent him getting 3-bet. And that's the kind of flop Jarrellson was looking for. Top pair, top kicker, even though it's just a 7. Poker fish with King High at least has some showdown value, you would think. Jarrellson not really willing to get out too much. And, well, that'll help. Now he's going to bet. Poker fish left with... Oh, now he's not going to bet. Pokerfish is going to bet, though. And Jarrell's with an extremely easy call, if not raise. Probably should be a raise. 45 million. A little more. But obviously it's not getting called either way. This doesn't look very exciting. Hello? Okay, Geraldo doesn't fight back. Nice raise there from Pokerfish. This should be a raise and fold, you would think. Yeah. Nine again. This time he will try it out. And it's a terrible flop. First one to breathe at the pot will win it, and that's going to be Jarrell's. I hope these guys are comfy. It should be here a while. Ooh! All the small cards in the entire deck are already gone. I assume the turn of river will be like Jack Queen. Jarrell's obviously has to like that flop. As far as flops go, and you got 4-2, that's pretty good. Pokerfish, on the other hand, is loving this. Well, there's that queen, so I guess the river will be a jack. What do we think it'll be? I think jack of clubs. Nope. Pot size bet. That's going to be too much for Jarrell's, I think. Not sure what hand he was. I'm not sure what hand he put him on to bet that much. Honestly, because that could be called by worse, but it would have to be a random queen or a random ace. You would think a 2's not going to do that, and I don't think a pocket pair like 7s or 8s would have played the hand the way it did. Raise, understandable 3-bet, somewhat understandable call as well. Already got 43 million in the middle. I can only dream of playing pots that big. And I have actually dreamed of playing pots that big. Not frequently. But all red flop, but he keeps betting, and that's good enough to take it down. Obviously, he did have a draw, and Jarrell's didn't even have that much. And bad flop. Always fascinating to see what happens when bad flops happen. When it is heads up and you've got nowhere left to hide. In that case, it was ace high against small pair, a quintessential small showdown value hand where neither player wants to bet. So that should be a call. All right, that's a hit for Jarrell's. That's a huge hit for Pokerfish. 6 of diamonds for a straight flush. Jarrell's still with the best of it, and he's got the same straight draw. So a 6 wouldn't actually help Pokerfish unless it's a diamond. Well, it would help. It would just be a chop. And just under pot. Nope. That doesn't help him at all. That's trips now for Jarelzim. Pokerfish has 8 high. So Jarelzim's going to take this one. It shouldn't be any bigger of a pot than it already is. But that is a big one. Let me just speed it up. He's going to waste time bank to pretend like this is a hard decision. Oh, God, he's wasting a lot of time bank. Dude, just bet. And he settles on 63 million. He had no idea he was betting against 8 high. Uh-oh. Not this time, Jarelzim. Fish showing how to win with King 10. My former favorite hand. The 3x raise from Pokerfish. Jarelzim seems to prefer 2.5. Ooh, now he prefers 7-4 off, or 7-4 suited, and a snap call with Jack 8. Huge pot already. And another bad flop for both players. Jarelzim had the pre-flop betting lead. He's going for it. Pokerfish with Jack high makes the call. What is going on here? 3 clubs out there. Pokerfish has a straight draw now. 7 or a queen. And it's been checked now. Pot is 99 million. He's going to bet 33.5. Jarelzim with 7 high and no draw. Oh, wait. 8. 8 actually wins it. But he doesn't want any more of that pot, and he's got to be kicking himself for even bothering to play that 7-4 in the first place. That led to way more trouble than it was worth. Not that it's a bad idea to get out of your comfort zone once in a while. Especially heads up. Just didn't work out that time. All of a sudden, we open up a big gap between Pokerfish and Jarelzim. Not that Jarelzim is super short, though. Oh, here's a hand. Here's a real hand. Pair of 10s for Jarelzim, and combo draw for Pokerfish. Pokerfish going with 2/3 pot, and that's actually going to do it right there. I would have thought Jarelzim would stick around, but I guess he figured that was a board that was more trouble than it was worth. Pair for both. And a spade for both. But not much else going on here. This might be checked down all the way. Maybe Jarelzim throws in a bet here. He does. Pokerfish will call. Oh, wow. Things going Pokerfish's way right now. He tries checking. I think that, well, that wouldn't have been really a good spot to bet either. It would look extremely fishy. No pun intended, obviously. That's just how poker players talk. I don't make the rules. Well, Jack on the turn gives Jarelzim a gut shot, although the implied odds aren't that great. Pokerfish is just a pair of 2s. 20.9 million. He's going for the win right now, obviously, and he gets it. Very nice. Again, Jarelzim's not out of this by any stretch. He's got 35 big blinds, even with them just coming up. Pocket 10s are pretty good. Jack 2 offsuit, no. X and pair for both. Again, Pokerfish on the big end, the long end of the stick. Wait a minute, short end of the stick? Wait, how can a stick have a short end? Unless they're talking about thickness, then it should be wide. It should be like the wide and narrow end of the stick, not short and long. Whatever. English doesn't make any sense anyway. Wow, Jarelzim got away from that one real cheaply. That's impressive. $300 million points. That's a huge number. Of course, we've seen huger. We all started with 125,000. We don't talk about my run in this tournament, but I was... In name only, I was a participant. This will be the last time I'll ever commentate a tournament that I was a participant in. Pokerfish takes that one down as well. pulling away. Jarelzim needs to make a move. He's going to try limping with the ace, and there you go. That's the flop that Jarelzim was waiting for. Pair over pair the other way around for once. Pokerfish certainly not going to be able to fold that. And getting a little dicey, although Jarelzim has the 4 hearts. It's better than nothing, but obviously he can't be that happy if the river card's a heart. He will bet. Pokerfish may be turned off by the... Nope. He's going to stick around. River card's a 10 of spades. Not really a brick, but it doesn't change this particular hand, and I think Jarelzim will very happily take that one. At least get off the skid for a little while. Pokerfish makes it 12 million. Jarelzim, yeah, that's a fold. 32 big blinds still, though, for Jarelzim. Ooh. Bottom pair top kicker versus flush draw on 2 overs. Flush draw on 2 overs likes it. Jarelzim would be super gambling to be going any further with it. It's a tough decision, especially when he bets that much. He's got to be comfortable to bet that much. Even if he actually got shoved on there, he might still have called. I don't know. Just because of... Uh-oh, pocket 9s. Heads up, they're pretty good. Jack 8 goes in the muck. I might have kept going with that one, but he does make the right decision. At least objectively. I think he should have called because pocket 9s will always find a way to lose. Same pattern, limp, 4x. No fold this time, though. Did he seriously call with Queen 9? And they flopped 2 pairs. So, okay, well, they would have gotten it all at some point anyway. But he seriously tried to end this tournament with Queen 9. Queen 9. He went for it. That was a 26 big blind shove. Actually, that was... Hang on, that was 27-28 big blind shove. And he called it with Queen 9. I don't care that it's a PKO. That doesn't matter anymore. It's one-on-one. There's no difference now between a PKO and just playing this like a regular thing. It's just you versus another guy. Of course, you're trying to knock each other out. Whoever wins... Whoever knocks each other out is the winner of the tournament. Which means you need to wait for a spot to actually knock your opponent out. Queen 9 is not a good spot. Please tell me the river card's not a queen. Okay, good. I'm sorry. Pokerfish has played very well up to this point. That call was atrocious. That all-in had way too much meat on the bone to merit calling with Queen 9. If he had, like, 11 big blinds, sure. But 26, 27? No. No. That is never worth it. Pokerfish had to win that hand just to even the game up again. Jarelzim now catching the right boards. And that absolute punt by Pokerfish may come back to haunt him. Maybe not too badly. He's still going to win a whole lot of money, especially off of an $11 investment. I'm pretty sure America's Cardroom doesn't actually send material possessions, bracelets or rings for winning these serious designated events. I think right now all they're playing for is the bounty money. Nothing on this board. Nothing to really talk about there. Nothing to talk about here. Again, Pokerfish. I can tell that's a deceptive name. He does know how to play. He absolutely deserved to make it to heads up. There's no question about it. He's got some creative plays up his sleeve, and they've worked more often than not. That one play was just atrocious, though. That's a pretty good flop for Pokerfish, though. Jarrell's him with backdoorish Hope Springs Eternal type flop. Jarrell's hates that turn. Pokerfish might not like it either, though, because if Jarrell's had a 5, he's beating the 8 now. Pokerfish now with Jackson 8s. And he likes it. Jarrell's with Queen High. Fold. Dead even again. This is a great matchup. But Pokerfish really had... Oh, now he's open raising 4x. The blinds are big now. I don't know if I like that. I would probably start scaling down a bit. Jarrell's hits the straight. Pokerfish with Queen High, though, and no draw, so that should be an easy fold. Yeah. Jarrell's sticking with that 2.5x. I don't think you could ever really go wrong with that raise size. Walk. No walk. But Pokerfish absolutely with enough to raise there. He really is open raising 4x. Not a fan. I think past 3x, any, fold equity that your raise size might earn by increasing diminishes pretty quickly. Oh, wow. Pokerfish bluffing. Jarrell's with just a pair of 4s. Pokerfish hasn't shown any interest in this hand up until now, and Jarrell's will let him have this one. See, Pokerfish has some moves up his sleeve. He is a creative player. I can tell that this is not just a GTO slave. He's doing his own thinking, and I've got to admire him for that. Wow, he folded king, too. I don't think you can really fold a king heads up, but oh, okay. I mean, if you're the button. Queen 2, I might fold. Now he's raising. He has his own agenda. Although I don't really think balancing your range is a thing when you're heads up. I think even down to 5-handed, balancing your range just kind of goes out the window. That is a board that, oh shoot, 4s full for Pokerfish. Jarrell's with a pair and a straight draw. He bets pot. Luckily for Jarrell's, he missed the river. So Pokerfish overbets the pot and does get the call. And I can't say that's the worst call I've ever seen. Because that is the kind of board that if you're over it, chances are your opponent's not that far over it. Pokerfish, though, smashed it. And we've seen Pokerfish mess around with some small cards. Jarrell's in with ace-7 suited here. Pokerfish with ace-6 suited. Jarrell's in. Goes for the all-in. Again, this is a huge, huge bet. Pokerfish with a bit better of a hand than he had last time. But 131 million to call. He'd only have 120 million behind. Would he really want to... I mean, if he could risk that much with Queen 9, maybe he'll risk it with ace-6 suited. He does. And this time, the board rewards him handsomely. This game is already done. We don't even need to see the turn of the river. Congratulations to Pokerfish for winning this event. Jarrellzim, you played your heart out. You played excellent. You both deserve to make it to heads up, I think. But Pokerfish is the one who wins it in the end. Let's finalize that. The lobby has frozen. I need to scroll up so that I see how much everybody won with the bounties and everything, because... Give me a second. There you go. So... Nobody had less than $139 of bounties who made the final table. Our Bubble Boy had a little under 100, but that's still a pretty good ROI off of an $11 buy-in. Pokerfish ends up with, let's see, $1,074 more in bounties than Jarrellzim. They both obviously did an excellent job between them to bust all those players out. And that's it for Hi5 Summer 2013. The OSS is coming up starting pretty much next week. So I'll probably set aside a few of those games to commentate over as well. But obviously I won't be playing any of them anymore because I have confirmed beyond reasonable doubt that I suck. So I'll just be appreciating the hard effort of other players. I'll try to mix up the buy-ins that I commentate over. Maybe I'll try and like go from low up to high, or at least as much as the tables will actually let me watch the final table. Of course, Money Chops will throw a wrench in those plans. But anyway, that's coming up. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you whenever. As always, I have no upload schedule, so just peace out, and I'll see you next time.